Greg Redding. What's going on, Greg?
Oh, yeah. I'm just glad to be here, fellas. Thanks for having me.
We're glad to have you. I meet you probably a couple months ago at a Landslide show at Neil's. And I was cracking up before we started how you introduced yourself to me. Hey, I love the show. Right. And I was like, I'm Greg. I'm like, yeah, I know who you are. So I was like, we started talking.
It's usually the other way around.
Yeah.
I'm Derek. Would you like to come do an interview?
And then it was like Stax Records came up. I was like, well, okay, let's just stop talking now. Right. Let's get you on the show.
There's quite a bit to be told for sure.
Oh, my God. And you sent us a list of artists you played with. And my goodness, a lot to talk about. And great to have you here.
Man, thank you both for having me. I love this kind of stuff, okay?
Yeah, and thank you for watching the show and being a fan.
They say
I
was vaccinated with a phonograph needle, so...
So you just got out of church, right?
I did.
What church you play at?
Heart Song.
Okay. And,
The Flock That Rocks.
You play with Walter Wright at that church,
I do.
Right?
And Richard Cushing.
And my friend LaShawn Robinson just sat in with y'all a couple weeks ago.
Right.
So, yeah, man, I heard that's a heck of a band there.
It'll be 1 year next month that I've been with those guys, and I've loved every minute of it. It's great.
And it's a hike from there. They're all the way at the end of Walnut Grove.
And then down some.
Yeah, right. So you came straight to here from there?
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Oh,
thank you
my
for
pleasure.
that drive. What part of town do you live in?
Memphis State area.
Okay. Memphis State.
I'm sorry.
I
just dated myself. Yeah. University of Memphis. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. I used to live out there, Park and Highland.
I live right off of Southern and Highland, about 4 blocks off of there.
Yep.
Been there for 33 years. So.
Nice. The Highland Strip has come a long way.
And then, look, I remember the Highland Strip back in the 60s, okay?
Yeah.
Which was like the hippie hangout. And at least once a month, the cops would do a sweep.
Yeah.
And put everybody up against the walls and search them and take all their weed and anything else.
All that old school, seedy, stemmy brickweed.
Yeah, that you would go to jail for a year for having a joint.
Right,
It was a whole different day back then. But yeah, that was the original strip. And then it's kind of become... We played newbies. Well, the All-Stars played newbies quite a bit.
The Memphis All-Stars, which we will be talking about for sure.
Right.
But yeah, now, unfortunately, I'm starting to see more vacant spaces there again.
The Bluff shut down.
I know.
They got some new owners in.
Okay.
And what happens there is obviously, if it's not really doing well, they go, well, let's just shut it down. It makes more sense. And that was a really nice venue that the school used a lot for our shows and stuff. So.
Yeah, I used to host trivia nights there a long time ago. But yeah, it was a nice place.
This is a big white building?
No, it's part of the strip.
Okay.
In between Newbies and...
Right next door to Newbies.
Yeah.
In fact, at one time they were connected.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. So that closed. I didn't know that.
Yeah. But currently you're with Landslide, the awesome Fleetwood Mac tribute band.
Just got nominated for Best Local Cover Band.
Saw that. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. It's all because of Davey Smith.
Yeah.
Let's be real here.
Okay, yeah, the moisturizer. What can I say?
Oh, that's right. We got another gentleman that knows all about Josh Sheen. I have the product in
I'm
here.
sorry to hear that.
Should I go get it?
No, that's quite all right.
Do you need any wiener swipes?
Look, I don't have any air conditioning in my car. I'm quite moisturized right now.
For years and years and years, 30 plus years, you played with the Memphis All-Stars.
Right.
And
Don't say it like that.
No,
years
it's
and
true.
years and years.
Well, 30 plus years is a lot of years.
It is a lot of years.
I inherited that band.
So it's been going even longer than that.
I joined it in like 1985. It was being run by a gentleman named T.O. Earnhardt. It was this big 350-pound piano-playing monster. And we were hooked up with the Dick Clark Productions people. And that's where I got to do a lot of these shows with my old heroes and stuff from the 60s and stuff. Well, in 1989, we did a gig in Greenville, Mississippi. It was icy. And I took the van with the band back home. T.O. stayed in Greenville, got up the next morning, picked up his mom and his kids in Tunica, where he's from. Was coming over a hill. Car went into a spin in front of him, hit him like a baseball bat, and killed him and his mother on the spot. And so when I got to the funeral, and T.O. was like a dear, dear friend of mine. I love that guy so much. His wife walked up to me and said, look, T.O. always said if anything happens to him, you're to take over the band. So she gave me the keys to the truck, the PA system, and a stack of contracts about like that He'd already gotten 50% of the deposits on it.
Gotta go.
And spend it. So it was like, okay, let's see if we can make this work.
Yeah.
And over from 1999, 89, I took over the band and I had it all the way until COVID hit.
Wow.
Oh, wow. COVID is what ended it?
Yeah.
Man, and it's so many things.
Yeah.
Golly.
I mean, I had a calendar so full of gigs, probably about $60,000 or $70,000 worth of gigs that just got wiped right off gone.
Yeah.
Gone.
Man, well, I hate to hear that, but let's stick with Memphis All-Stars while we're on it.
Okay.
So I remember seeing you all back in like 2006 and 7 down at Tunica and Pearl River Resort.
Oh, yeah.
Silver Star and all that. And I always saw you with the keyboard player, Robert,
Claiborne,
and Walter White was with you all that time too.
Well, Walter was I probably had most every musician in this town in that band at one time or another over the years. Tommy was with us for like 18 years or so.
Tommy Cathy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the final lineup, though, was Walter, Robert Claiborne, his brother Henry, and myself. And that was really, I thought, the strongest lineup that we had. We were just serious old school rhythm and blues.
Yeah.
And I mean, well, you know the talent there. I mean, it's just, and I just hung on for dear life.
Well, I want to bring up Walter again, but Jeff, I think that's the lineup we saw at Lafayette.
Yes, it is.
With our friend Mark Goodman.
Oh,
yeah.
So we have another Mark person here. And
love that guy.
We loved him.
And I hate to admit this, but that is the only time I saw that band.
Well, yeah, I saw him years ago, but
I was blown away.
We didn't play in town that much.
Yeah,
we really didn't. The casino thing. I mean, when it opened up in '95, I saw that as a money source.
Sure.
And here's the thing: it paid well. Okay, those casino gigs pay way better than Memphis clubs, obviously because of the amount of revenue that goes through those places
and the amount of nights.
Yeah,
they book you for a whole week.
Look, when they first started, there was one year we did 400 shifts in 1 year.
Yeah. Wow.
Now, you could see us going from the Horseshoe to the Sheraton with our dolly full of equipment, just going from the 12 to 5 to the 7 to 11, and then we'd take a late night at Fitzgerald's after that, and we did that for years and years and years. Man.
Obviously, this isn't about me, but because you were into that scene, my first run in Tunica was interesting for me. I had just moved to Nashville from Maine, 2005, October. January of 2006, I'm in town 3 months. I'll land this casino gig.
Yeah.
And so Tunica is the road for us. And my first run was Friday and Saturday at Replays. Do you remember Replays at the Grand?
Yeah, I do.
And then 2 7-nighters back-to-back at the Horseshoe. So it was 16 straight nights. Dude, I went from playing twice a month, if lucky.
Yeah.
So that my back was killing me. I mean, I was like, okay, this is for real.
Yeah,
let's go.
It's not real rewarding as far as audience participation goes because basically you're playing to the top of people's heads as they're cranking the slot machines.
Yeah, those penny slots, man.
And the volume police, you know exactly what
they're better now.
Yeah.
They're better now.
In early days, we did Circus before it became Gold Strike. And they had us 50 feet away from a craps table.
What are you going to do?
And the that's the one where they've got to hear all the bets placed and everything.
Yeah.
What it taught us, though, a couple of things actually, how to play quietly with dynamics. And also, if you took it in the right frame of mind, hey, you're getting paid to get better.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, my chops were so up during that whole period, it was crazy. I mean, I was playing better than I ever played before.
That's a great way to look at it. We did not. We were pissy about it, and we would protest, and
Well, there was a lot of local bands from my era that were like, "Ooh, I just don't want to do it." And I said, "You're right. You don't want to do that. Stay away from there. I'll take care of it."
Sure, I'll take the money.
But it put my kids through 12 years of private school and college.
Nice.
That would have never happened playing in local clubs. And I'm not dissing the local clubs. It's a matter of economics,
and volume of shows.
Right.
Like you said, 400 shifts in a month.
Yeah.
So Golden Moon, you familiar? Golden Moon and Silver
James
Star.
Taylor's one of my lifelong friends. He's the entertainment director down there. So.
The James Taylor?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. So what we used to do at the Golden Moon is, typical thing, sound check, they bring out the dB meter, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, well, hey, it's going to get louder, We would just let them do their thing. Okay, great. And then we would play however we wanted, but we all had this radar. As soon as we see that red shirt coming around the corner, we would drop it down, do our thing.
You're wise. You're very wise.
And then they'd thumbs up, they'd walk away, and then
bring it back
right
up.
back up.
Yeah, that's exactly the way to play that whole deal. Yeah, I know that. Oh, I know that.
You know that trick.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
And that old Silver Star stage, that old rinky dinky, and the soda machines were in the back, and it would stink. And
well, they finally kind of cleaned it up.
Oh, they rebuilt the whole thing.
Yeah, which made it much better, much better. But I played that place when it first opened.
Yeah.
In fact, the first casino that opened, Splash, back in Tunica proper.
I remember.
I was standing at the door the day they opened, going, "Y'all need bands?" You know,
Good for you.
and we had a 10-piece band with an Elvis impersonator.
Damn.
I was standing there waiting to pay my cover to get in and lose my money.
Isn't that crazy? Paying a cover to get into a
They
casino?
were doing $120,000 a week in cover charges.
Oh my God.
Mine was a lot
And
of
they
it.
had this big Quonset hut outside where they put everybody until they could, and then your number would come across this little screen above the stage.
I sat there several times.
Wow, that's wild. You know,
Just couldn't wait to go in there and play blackjack and drop another $300.
I wasn't here clearly way back then, but I was here early enough to see now the Grand is gone, Resorts is gone, Sheridan slash what was it after the Sheridan? The Roadhouse.
Yeah, it's gone.
I played when it was both.
Yeah.
That's gone.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
It was Treasure Bay at one time.
Yeah, Treasure Bay. What happened is over the years, more and more casinos popped up. Okay,
Indian Res all around the region.
Yeah, and they didn't have to be on the river. That whole river thing kind of limited. But at one time, there was like 9 or 10 casinos, and they were packed out 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But then as it became more available outside of the area, and I'll tell you what really killed them was Southland.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
Because now, we all know the secret to a successful business is location, location, location. Here they sit at the intersection of two of the busiest interstates in the country, right across the river from a large town, Memphis.
Right there.
And not only that, but they have a really nice facility over there.
It's beautiful now.
Yeah.
I played when it was the Juke Joint.
I love the Juke Joint.
The Juke Joint was fine, but the casino compared to what it is now.
Right, was very, very...
And now it's smoke-free.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Well, there's one smoke-free and one smoke. I mean, and it's... You know, I play over there with Adam Hart from time to time.
Yeah, because I'm starting to play there now in the main lobby, and whenever I want to feel nostalgic, I'll walk to the smoke section and be like, this is what a casino smells like.
But the Juke Joint was one of the best places for us to play because you could dance. It was away from all the machines. They paid a cover charge to get in. What happened, in my opinion, is as they got going, they decided to start doing this after-hours DJ thing. And they were bringing in gangster rap.
Yeah, that brings in a certain crowd.
It brings in a net way. And here's what would happen. A fight would break out. The cops would come. They'd search all these people, and they'd go to the management and go, well, here's a bag of weed and some cocaine and a gun and some knives. This is what's coming into your club now. Yeah. So the powers to be said, why don't we just stop this and put slot machines in here, which is what they did.
Yeah.
You know, now the dog racing's gone, too.
Yeah, I saw that. But
I knew that was going to happen sooner or later without anything else happening because it just got, those dogs did not live a good life at all.
No. And I was lucky, like I said, 2006 is when I started playing down here, and it wasn't, the way we saw it was 2008 when the whole bubble bursted and the economy tanked. That's when they started cutting, went from 7-nighters to Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
And again, we're traveling, we're bouncing around the country, and it was just like, well, Tunica's not worth it anymore, and that was it. We were done. We had to play other places.
So we'd go everywhere. The All-Stars. One night we played the the one down in Greenville, Mississippi, Harlow's.
Okay.
And we got finished there and drove straight 30 hours to Jackpot, Nevada.
I played there.
Have you really?
Oh, yeah. It's like from dusk till dawn.
Yeah.
Seriously, it is nothing, and then a little nugget with a casino and a post office.
Yeah,
and
that's it. Yeah.
Insane.
And it's called Jackpot.
Yeah. And we got there just in time to set up and play, and we were absolutely delirious.
Yes.
And they said, well, yeah, you guys sound really good. And we're like,
Yeah, and another tiny stage behind the bar.
Right,
and
right.
You know, I lost a few $100s at a blackjack table there one night, and I had a good time.
the first time we were there, the Guess Who were playing in the big showroom.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the guys came out and was watching us, and he goes, you guys really from Memphis? He goes, yeah. I said, yeah, we sure are. He goes, I said, but are you all really the Guess Who? He said, well, it's kind of like, guess who's in the band this week?
One original guy here and there, you know.
No, there was none.
Yeah.
There was none. The Bachmans weren't there. Burton Cummings wasn't there. Nobody was there.
Just kind of whoever took over the name.
Yeah. Or the agency that owned the name is how that worked.
That's how Foreigner is now.
Oh, I know. It's sad.
Yeah. I'm going to see him, though, in Styx at the Botanical Gardens.
I'm hoping to. My son works for a company that has a table there, and sometimes there'll be some free seats left. And last year I got to go see the Doobie Brothers.
Nice.
And like Michael McDonald is like my hero. And he broke into Taking It to the Streets, and I just went, oh,
nice.
There's the voice.
Yeah, that is the voice, but... Man, I could talk casinos all day long.
Oh, yeah.
You want to compare resumes, Greg? Not.
I don't think you do.
I got your beat because I was there from day one.
So yeah, Memphis All-Stars, man, you guys killed it. And reading, I listened to some interviews when I searched you on Google and stuff, and you guys had like 300 songs you could just pull from.
At least.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And a lot of times people request a song, and we go, yeah, we know that. I mean, there were songs that we didn't even know we knew.
Yeah.
You know?
But with that level of talent.
And we never rehearsed, ever. That
Really?
band never rehearsed.
Well, when you play that many shows.
Well, when it's like this. We all know the music to most every song. Does somebody know how to do the verses and choruses vocally? And
The words,
Robert is like an encyclopedia of songs. How he does that is beyond my comprehension. I mean,
Well, when I saw you guys, we always loved you.
Thanks.
Whenever, because, of course, everyone knows how Tunica works. This band's all around you. But then in Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Philadelphia, Mississippi, Choctaw Reservation, there's two casinos, Silver Star and Golden Moon. And we'd pull the Golden Moon, and then the Silver Star shift was later. So we'd go party over there. And when it was the Memphis All-Stars, we knew we were going to hear some good shit. And we always enjoyed you. But, obviously I didn't know who I was watching.
Right.
I didn't know you were. I didn't know Greg Redding then.
Who is that old guy? Why is that white boy in that band?
I know, right? What's going on here? Something's a little different, but all right. Well, that's awesome. Where do you want to go next?
Let's go to the beginning.
All right, let's go.
I think really and truly it started in...
You born and raised in Memphis?
No.
Okay, where are you from?
I was born in St. Louis. When I was 5, I moved to a little town called Sikeston, Missouri.
Okay.
And in the 5th grade, at the end of the school year, they gave us all a musical aptitude test, which basically I think was, can you tell the difference between a half step, things like that. So that summer, I got a letter that said, you scored very high on the test. You have your choice. You can be in the orchestra or the band. See, and that was back when they still had string programs.
Yeah.
Which,
oh, wow, yeah.
This was like I was 5th grade, so that would have been 10 or 11, about 1960, 61, somewhere in there. So I wanted to play violin. That was in my heart really badly. So the problem was my old man said, no son of mine is going to play violin. That's a sissy instrument. You're the next shortstop for the St. Louis Cardinals. This is not going to happen.
Okay. Thanks, Dad.
And I'm like, So
you can swear on this show.
Oh,
it's
I can?
Okay.
So anyway, the orchestra instructor lived right down the street because Sikeston is a very small town. So I got on my bike, rode down there. He was mowing his yard. I said, do I have any options? He goes, yeah. He said, if you'll play the upright bass, the big stand-up thing,
Yeah.
He said, we'll give you one.
Okay.
I said, done.
Yeah.
So my brother and I, Dan, got on our bicycles, went to the junior high. He grabbed one end of it, I grabbed the other end, and we pedaled through Sikeston with this bass violin. I got the head, he's got the tail. We pulled in the front yard. My old man stands there, he goes, what the hell's that? I said, didn't cost a dime, be quiet. So I did that, and obviously I had this thing for music anyway, and I took to it really quickly. But then in Sikeston, there was an aha moment and then the big bang. The aha moment was every year in September, they had this big rodeo. And it would be one of 2 different kinds of entertainment besides the horses stomping on people. One year it would be the cast from Bonanza, Lauren Green, Dan Blocker, and all those guys. One year it was the singing cowboy Rex Allen.
Okay.
And I always sold hot dogs there. I actually sold a hot dog to Clint Eastwood one year. I thought that was pretty cool.
Nice.
But all of a sudden,
did you give him a free drink?
Probably. But I'm standing there, and all of a sudden, there's a band in the middle of this rodeo field, an actual band. There's guitar players, bass players, drummer. And I'm like, oh. And they did this song called, and I looked it up on YouTube. It does exist. Son, Don't Go Near the Indians. Okay, look it up sometime. It's
Times
there.
have changed.
Son, don't go near the Indians. But anyway, it was an aha moment. I went home. My brother Dan had gotten a guitar for Christmas the year before, and it went under the bed and never came back out again. So I pulled this thing out from under the bed. It's an old Sears and Roebuck Stella guitar, had action that was more suitable for slide than for guitar, but it didn't matter. So I picked it up. I just tuned it to a chord, started strumming away. And I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. So I went and got two things. I got a Mel Bay book of chords, which is all the chords, C, F, and G and all that stuff, and a Kingston Trio songbook. Because basically folk music was the thing in 1962, 63, around there. So I started learning. I was getting fairly competent at it. Then the Big Bang hit. February 9th, 1964. It was a Sunday night.
First off, we throw so many people under the bus because of dates and everything, and you are like
he's nailing everything.
Painting such a picture. That's awesome, man.
This is awesome.
I can't remember what I had for breakfast, but I remember all these days. Go figure that one out, right? And I remember one day I was sitting back in my room, and my dad walks in. He worked for Libby Foods, and they all came out of this warehouse called Malone and Hyde down in Sykeston. And there's a bit of a black market thing going on as far as the salesman, district salesman. Dad would swap out canned goods for cigarettes. And there was this one guy, back then, small towns didn't have record stores, so it wound up going into the grocery stores for records. And he would give me, all of a sudden, I had the Kingston Trio, the New Christy Minstrels, Peter, Paul, and Mary, and then the Beach Boys. And then all of a sudden, he walks in one day and goes, I don't know what this is, but they said this is the hot new thing. Meet the Beatles.
Well, I knew that was coming.
And I mean,
can I just play something?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So, and you got to realize back then there was only about 3 ways to really hear or see music: in the radio, record players, and occasionally on TV.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we listened to the Beatles. They had #1 records. We'd seen pictures. Well, now on this night they're going to perform live on the Ed Sullivan Show.
Yes.
And me and about 1 million other young musicians from my generation, that was the Big Bang. I mean, the world stopped turning. It was like,
man, it's so cool to talk to someone that experienced that. Because you watch every damn documentary about any band that comes up.
Yeah, anybody, you know. And I mean, it all of a sudden, my life changed at that very second, and I knew exactly what it was I wanted to do for the rest of my life.
They had such an impact. It was
Oh my
crazy.
God. Well, here's what it was. Okay, up until then, it was basically singers that were teen idols.
Mm-hmm.
Fabian,
Right.
Tommy Sands, Elvis. They were all singers. There were no real bands involved.
Right.
All of a sudden, here's 4 guys, 2 guitars, bass, and drums, playing these great songs.
And playing live.
Yeah.
They didn't mimic.
No, that was all them, and everybody's going, I think I can do that.
The energy.
You know, so now my big thing was, okay, this ain't going to work. This acoustic guitar ain't going to fly on what I want to do. So I go to my mom and I said, look, I need an electric guitar. Please let me get an electric guitar. She said, I'll make you a deal. You learn all the songs on the Hard Day's Night album, and I'll make sure you get an electric guitar.
Whoa.
So the movie was showing in Sykeston at the time. I went to the owner of the theater, explained my situation. I said, now look, if I clean up the aisles and take all the trash out between the matinee and the night show, can I just hang? He goes, yeah, sure. So 2 times a day for like a week and a half, I sat and watched that movie, watching closely, jotting down a few notes, and then would run home and try to figure out what they were doing.
That's how you woodshedded it?
Yeah. Yeah, that was it. I mean, there was no other way.
You couldn't go get the record? The record must have been available.
But it's what they did chord-wise up and down the neck is a whole different thing. I mean, they'd have songbooks and stuff that would say, okay, put a capo on the third fret and play an E minor. Well, that's not what they were doing.
And they were groundbreaking in certain kinds of chords, right? Like seventh chords and augmented stuff.
Yeah, and bar chords. I mean, I'd never seen a bar chord before.
Really?
And I'm like,
I still can't play one.
So I'm sitting, and I'm learning all this stuff. And I got pretty close to it, but I think the one that sold her was the acoustic guitar solo on And I Love Her.
Okay.
And so all of a sudden, she's on my side on this thing. Well, now my old man's still against it. He's like, no, this is ridiculous. And I think she basically told him that if he ever wanted to see her naked again, this boy's, oh, yeah! This boy's going to get an electric guitar. So I got an electric guitar.
Next thing you know, you got a brand new amp. You got all kinds of stuff coming in.
So this was like
PA.
Yeah, right.
This was like the spring, summer of '64. And then all of a sudden that fall, my old man goes, we're moving to Memphis. And I'm like 14 years old. And I've been here. This is all the people I've gone to school with since kindergarten. I kind of got a girlfriend. I got the whole social thing going on. I am totally against it. I'm trying to find friends that'll let me move in with them when my parents move away. And there was 5 kids at that, 4 boys and a girl. Okay, so we all had to go. The only thing they kept telling me was, Elvis lives in Memphis. I'm going, that's great. But I don't think there's...
I have friends, Dad.
So what happened was January 5th, 1965. I don't know why I remember it. That's the day
I love it.
That's the day we moved to Memphis. Now, I enrolled into Oak Haven High School, which had more people in it than the city of Memphis. I mean, the city of Sikeston. Mm-hmm. I'm in culture shock. Okay. Yeah. I'm this kid with a flat top, butch wax, nerdy clothes. I mean, I am a nerd times 20. Okay. So I don't know what I'm doing here. And then the second aha moment hit. We had a school function, a pep rally or something like that. There was a band playing. I'm like, I looked at my friend. I said, "What's this?" He goes, "Oh, that's the next of kin. There's about 3 or 4 bands in the school." I went, "What?"
Just in one school.
One school. And so it dawned on me that I'm in a big town now, and I started looking around. Actually, the first band I heard when I moved to Memphis, the Ted Mack Amateur Hour was on, which was kind of like the original American Idol. Okay. Yeah. And all of a sudden they said, from Memphis, Tennessee, the Gentrys, which was Larry Raspberry and his guys. Okay. And I was like, wow, okay, this is pretty cool. So school let out, spent the summer playing baseball. That fall, first of all, the word got out that I was a bass player. Okay, because back then what would happen is you'd have 3 guitar players, a singer, and a drummer. Who was ever the worst guitar player played bass. Yeah. It was kind of the right field of bands at that point.
The right field, I like that.
Because nobody really, I mean, and the bottom line is it's the most important instrument in the band.
But by this time you were playing guitar as well.
Yeah, I was playing at guitar. Okay.
You were still trying to learn.
Yeah, was I any good? I knew a few. I knew my bar chords and stuff like that, and we'd walk around from one carport to the next, just setting up and playing.
But you were a good bass player.
Well, I knew how to play bass. Yeah. I understood the concept. I could actually read notes out of a book if I needed to. Okay. So there was a band out in Parkway Village where I grew up called The Foremost, and their bass player had bad grades, and his parents took him out of the band. And they heard about me, and they called me up and said, "You want to be in our band?" I went,
No, what date was that?
What time of the day?
Yeah, what time of day?
That would have been.
He's going to tell us.
I know, right?
Right at the beginning of the school in 1965, because I'd gotten there in January '65. The school year was almost over and went through the summer, and now we're 65, almost into '66. Okay, gotcha. And so now, they want me to play bass in their band, but I don't have a bass and I don't have an amp for that, right? So I went to my mom, again, God love her. I said, "Look, I get to be in a band, but I got to have a bass, guitar, and an amp." They pulled that off for me.
Did she threaten her husband again?
Well, I don't know exactly. I think at this point in time, it was just like, whatever he wants, just get it for him.
Do it.
Yeah. So I got my bass and I got my amp, started rehearsing with these guys, and I mean, I'm in seventh heaven. I'm in a band.
So by this time, you're like, I'm so glad we moved.
Yeah, now it's making sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's making sense. And so we played our first gig in late November, early December of '65 at the Rainbow Skating Rink out on Lamar Avenue. It's gone now.
I remember it.
Okay, and I was so nervous that I actually almost fainted on the first song. I had to sit on my amp for a couple of 3 songs just to get my bearings straight. So I did that maybe 8 months or so.
I like your air bass, by the way.
Yeah.
It's nice.
And then that band started to break up. Well, my brother had a band called the Village Sound, which became quite popular in this town. But he played bass also. So obviously you can't have 2 bass players in the same.
Was he older or younger?
Younger. You're 2 years younger.
So you broke the seal.
we both started at the same time on upright bass.
So once you started, then
yeah.
if he wanted to start, then
Yeah.
mom and dad had
Right.
to be like, okay,
Yeah.
well, we let Greg, so.
Yeah, exactly.
And your dad is like, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty much
No
how.
more baseball players.
I quit playing baseball just to piss him off. Okay.
Nice.
So all of a sudden we realized, and they already had 3 guitar players in the band, so there's no need for me to play guitar. I said, fine, I'll play keyboards. I didn't know shit from Shinola about keyboards. So they went out and bought me an organ and an amplifier, and I started taking lessons from a guy that was playing with the box, or was about to play with the box tops, Rick Allen, great keyboard player. So I did keyboards from 66 to 75, 76 when my second B3 burned up in a fire.
Mm.
Oh, let me tell you the story of the B3s, okay?
The B3s.
Okay, now you got to realize, I mean, this is back when you had Deep Purple, the Vanilla Fudge, the Rascals, and all these cats were playing Hammond B3s, okay?
Right. Big Leslie speakers.
All that,
yeah.
okay. Well, now you got to realize back then, that cost $5,400 in 1966, 67 money.
Yeah.
Today, that's like $30,000 bucks. Okay?
Wow, yeah.
So my old man, God rest his soul, signed for one, and I paid $54 a month forever. Okay, so I had it in the Village Sound. Well, the Village Sound kind of just reached a natural end, and the reason was everybody was talking about doing original material. Now, when that band broke up, Pat Taylor was in the band. I'm sure you heard of Pat from the Breaks and Edgewood, D. Beaver and Combinations. We all went out and formed our own original bands. And at this time, I had just gotten away from not having to go to Vietnam. That's another story in itself. But I met this guy named Bill Rennie, and he was a bass player. And we started this band called Silver. And we stayed on the road, but we started writing songs. And we thought they're pretty good songs. And Silver ran for about a year and a half, and it fell apart, at which time Bill and I got an offer to play with Albert King. But they wanted me on guitar. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to BS my way through this as best as I can.
Because by this time, you've put in a lot of work on bass and keys.
Yeah.
Even though guitar was first.
It was the last thing that I actually stepped into as a full-time job. And so I'm just kind of bullshitting my way through this whole gig. And we stayed on the road with him for like a year and a half, one of the most embarrassing moments of my whole life ever. Think about Albert. One night you'd be playing the Zodiac Lounge in Gary, Indiana. The next night you'd be in Iowa City, and your opening acts are Peter Frampton and the Jay Giles Band. And so we're at this big college gig, and Peter Frampton and Jay Giles are opening for us, which I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around. So I'm sitting outside of the dressing room. I look up, here comes Peter Frampton and Jay Giles. And I'm like, oh my God, heroes. And they walk up to me and they go, you're in Albert's band, aren't you? I went, yeah. They go, do you think we could get us inside so we could come pay our respects? Now, I'm a white boy from East Memphis. I don't know who Albert King is. We were making $165 a week and we had to pay our own hotel bills.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's 6 to a room almost every night. So anyway, I looked at him, I said, all he does is play Jimi Hendrix and Eric Clapton licks. And they looked at me
Oh my God.
like I was the most ignorant human being to ever walk the face of the earth. And Frampton looks at me and goes, I hope you're kidding, because you do realize that Jimi Hendrix and Eric Clapton play Albert King licks. I'm looking for a hole in the floor to climb into. I am so embarrassed.
So you don't know.
I had no clue who he was. Well, I did now, because I was, first of all, I was a keyboard player, but the guitar players that I was most enamored by were Page, Clapton, Hendrix, and Jeff Beck. Those were my guys, And so that's when I realized, okay, I'm actually playing with the legend, the guy that wrote the book that all my heroes have read and learned from. So that while this was going on, one day we're home for a minute. I get a phone call from Terry Manning from Ardent Studios. You know who Terry is? Mm-mm. Google him sometime. Okay, he did Led Zeppelin 3.
Okay.
He started with ZZ Top, Tres Hombres, all the way through Eliminator. Okay, guy was and still is a musical genius. Okay, producer extraordinaire, engineer extraordinaire, just one of the most talented and incredible, cool people I've ever had the chance to know. Well, he calls me up, and he had known Bill, and they had a group earlier that he was kind of recording with. He says, "You guys got any material?" And we're like, "Well, yeah, Bill and I've been writing quite a bit." He goes, "Come play me some songs."
No, why does he call to begin with?
Here's the reason, is because this is when Stax realized that they had lost all of their catalog to Atlantic Records. And Ardent Records was distributed by Stax. Now, the band, The Village Sound, backtrack for just a second, we were signed to Hip Records, which was a white subsidiary of Stax, because they were trying to break into the white market as best they could. So Terry, they had told Terry, first of all, Cargo, a band from Tulsa, killer band, and Big Star were already on the label, okay? And of course, Big Star's first album was amazing, just amazing. But so he calls us up, and we go in, we just started played some, first of all, I played him some songs. He goes, "I think we can do something with this." He said, "Get Bill, get in the studio." And so we went in the first day, just acoustic guitar and bass. And a lot of the Hot Dog album is just that, with overdubbed drums and stuff like that. At the end of the session, he says, "What do you want to call this thing?" And we're like, "I don't know." So he writes on the box, "Hot Dogs."
There you go.
And I'm thinking to myself, this is going to bite us in the ass someday. I just feel it coming. We're asking for trouble, right? So we finished the album, and that's when we met Jack. Well, if we had met Jack Holder when we were still in Silver, Jack and I spent the whole 70s in a band together, one way or the other. Incredible musician. First day I met him, he comes into rehearsal. I had a steel guitar that I'd bought, because I wanted to be a steel guitar player in the worst possible way, which after a year of practicing, I succeeded. I was a steel guitar player in the worst possible way. So Jack sees it over there in the corner, and he goes, "What's that?" I go, "That's my steel guitar." He sits down behind it, and you see the light go off in his head, and he pushes down on the pedals, strums the strings, and he goes, "Play that song you guys were just doing." It was a Elton John song that had steel guitar in it. I figured, Leave On or something like that. He sits down and plays it like he's been playing the thing all of his life. I'm going, "I hate you." That's not fair. So anyway, when that band broke up, Jack went one way and Bill and I went the other way. So we're sitting there and we start putting these songs together. Well, Jack had a habit of always knowing what I was up to. And one day the phone rings. He goes, "Hey, how you doing?" And he goes, "I hear you guys are making a record." "Yeah, we sure are." He said, "You think I can get in on it?" And of course, you don't turn Jack down. I mean, that's an ace, okay? So he comes in and he becomes a part of it. Then a guy from Muscle Shoals, Fred Prouty, who had played on several hits down there, he comes into town. We're doing a little club gig out on 3rd Street with Eddie Harrison. I'm sure you've heard of Eddie, original singer for, say, I got guys, I could give you a discount. But anyway,
give you a discount.
The gig was from 10 to 4 in the morning, 6 sets.
Ooh,
yeah, it was a booger bear. But so I told Fred, I said, "Man, we got this little thing we're doing at the studio." So Fred gets in on it. And by the end of this thing, we actually have a band, and there's about 4 or 5 cuts where it's an actual band, and it starts making a thing. Okay, here's where the ass biting happens. Oh, God, I'll never forget this night as long as I live. They booked us at the Whiskey A Go-Go.
Wow.
landmark gig.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the place that everybody dreams. We're playing the Whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
We're standing backstage, and all of a sudden the announcer goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, the Whiskey A Go-Go is proud to present to you for the first time a band that we're sure you're going to relish. A band that is destined to cut the mustard. Get off your buns and let's hear it for the hot dogs."
I love it.
Get off your buns.
Yeah. So that was, and so.
Oh, you're like 3 puns back to back.
Oh, and
to back.
you know, and this is like the press is there. I mean, we got
no.
and from there, then we went on stage, and my Hammond organ, I did a rake, and I broke a key and opened my hand up, and I'm bleeding like a stuck pig. I mean, it's just one of those weeks. Okay, so that all finished, and we started to cut a second album, and in the meantime, this is when Stax got into the whole CBS Records quagmire, you know, where they had signed distribution with Clive Davis. But then Clive got fired. So all of a sudden a new guy comes in. He doesn't really care about Stax, okay? Plus you have to realize at that time in the early 70s and late 60s when I was signed to them in 1967. This is a very racially torn town, okay? Yeah. The fact that there was a successful company run by a black man was not smiled upon.
Yeah.
And so when Al Bell came in to take over from Jim Stewart, he had a meeting with the new president of Columbia, and he basically said, if you want to do business with us, you're going to have to give us one of your top artists' albums for free every year. We get to keep everything off of it. And Al Bell said, forget about it. Mm-hmm. And then there was some racial epithets thrown. You can see it in Soulsville, USA. It's all documented. That's why I can quote this and not feel like I'm making this stuff up. So what happened, we went to war. At the time, the Hot Dogs were about to cut a second album, but at that time, we also went in and cut a remake of I Walk the Line by Johnny Cash. And it was kind of a pre-punk treatment to it. It was getting played all over the city. I mean, it was one of those times when you could change stations and hear it on 2 or 3 stations at the same time. But outside of the city of Memphis, you couldn't find product. And radio stations would not play your record if it wasn't available in the stores.
For purchase, yeah.
So we had a meeting with Al and said, what's going on here? He said, basically it's this. He said, they are keeping all of our product in a warehouse in New Jersey, and it's going to stay there. Mm. We're screwed. Have you seen that documentary on HBO yet?
I never got to it, man.
See, Rob Bauman, the guy that wrote the book, said it's the big fish eats the little fish. And if they can't eat you, they try to buy you. If they can't buy you, they destroy you. And that's what happened with Stax. Then they made some really stupid loans with Union Planters Bank, and the whole thing just collapsed on itself. Mm-hmm. And in the meantime, I worked in the demo studio at Stax, doing songwriter demos for whoever was about to cut a record, you know, and I was getting on guitar. I don't really know that much about what I'm doing, but I'd had Jack Holder around for a year and a half, so I'm the sponge. Just go anything he plays, I'm trying to process it. And so I was with them until the day it closed. And so now back to the thing about the B3s in 1971.
Oh, I left myself a note, Greg, to circle this back.
Okay, so that's.
I'm glad me and Jeff don't get paid by the word.
I told you guys.
Oh, I love it though.
No.
I love it.
So when I'm still
tell your story.
I'm still in silver. And
I've forgotten all about the B3s.
Okay, this is a great story. So I kind of got to set it up so that it'll all start making sense. So
sure.
We're playing a club in Little Rock called the Checkmate Club, and it's 10 to 3 in the morning, right? So I come off stage, and somebody from the bar comes up and goes, "You got an emergency phone call." Okay. I pick up the phone. It's Memphis going, "Your brother just died of a heroin overdose. You need to get home." Mm. I said, "Oh, great." And I mean, we were tight.
And this is the younger one that was playing.
He's also a bass player. So I get home, and we'd made a promise to each other that whoever died first, we'd make sure to bury their guitar with them. And I had to go find it from this drug dealer and do all this stuff. So anyway, I went, and I mean, I'm destroyed. That was the first time I've dealt with death, much less I mean, we were roommates from the time we were babies, you know, and we were just close. And so I get home from the funeral, the phone rings. And it's Bill Rennie, the bass player I just mentioned. He goes, sit down. I go, what? He goes, well, we took the night off last night, but they had another band come in and take our place. He said, but after they quit, the club burned to the ground with all of our gear in it.
Oh, my goodness.
And I'm like, oh. And, you know, at that point, it was so much else going on in my life.
You were already numb.
Yeah, I'd laughed. You know, I was like, okay. So I go back to Little Rock that next afternoon. We start scraping up whatever we can find. Well, luckily, somehow my old man had that organ on his homeowner's policy.
Yeah.
So they paid for it. So I got a second one. And it was even better than the first one because it was all beefed up and it had this loud thing going with it. So I kept that almost 3 years to the day. We were playing the High Cotton Club, which was on South Cooper. And the club owner burnt that club and another club that he owned down at the same night for insurance reasons, once again, with all our gear in it. So now the second B3 burns up. I couldn't insure the second one because they found out what it was I was doing with it, putting it in a U-Haul trailer and driving around the country.
It wasn't staying home.
Yeah, which they didn't realize until anyway, that was it for me. Okay, I don't have any more. There's no way. So that's when I became officially a guitar player. Okay, but luckily Jack was in the band. Shortly after that is when Black Oak happened. Okay, and I got an offer to go with them. Now
I think that band comes up every week.
Oh, look.
For real. So many people have played with them.
So this was like late 76, I'm sorry. And the original member were starting to bail. I didn't realize why until later. But basically, we were scabs, okay? We were replacing the original guys to prove a point.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so here's the final chapter on the B3. So I'm in Black Oak. You're going to love this. So I'm in Black Oak, and they're renting one for me when I'm on the road. So I'm playing about 3 or 4 songs a night on Hammond organ. I'm sitting at home, and all of a sudden I get a call from a friend of mine named Emery Smith. And at that time, Strings and Things, the music store, was located right next door to the High Cotton.
Yep.
He calls me up. He goes, man, I went in there. I scooped up all the guts, everything I could find. He said, I've put it back together. It's mint. It's in a road case. I got the Leslie working. Everything's fine. I sell it back to you for $1,500. I said, I'll be there Monday. That weekend, Strings and Things burned down.
Oh, my gosh, man. I mean, I won't even play a sound for that. I mean, it's 'cause I don't want to disrespect, but
my God.
So wow.
I
mean, come on.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, that's when I looked at the writing on the wall and said, I probably don't need to I need to buy something that I can take home every night, which would be a guitar.
Yeah. You never had a guitar burn?
No, I had the amps burn up on that fire because I had a purple Marshall that I loved dearly, and it went up in smoke too. But there was no way I was going to be able to pay for another B3,
Anytime I feel like things are going wrong in my life, I'm going to listen to this episode.
I know, right?
So at that point in the time, the Hot Dogs had pretty much seen their better day. We almost finished our second record, but it just kind of dissipated. So that's when I got the offer to go play with Black Oak, Arkansas. And you got to realize I'm 26 years old. I'm on food stamps. I'm making $65 a week on a good week. And the manager for Black Oak I'm sitting over at Ardent, and they were doing their live album at Ardent.
Greg did the quotes.
Air quotes.
Live album.
So there was a little polishing to it.
Yeah. That's kind of how that all works.
They're not the first and only ones to do this.
No, not at all. So he said, what are you doing? I said, well, not a lot of anything. He goes, you want to audition for Black Oak, Arkansas? And
just don't ask me to play a Hammond.
Right. They were telling you, stay away.
So I was like, well, what's the deal? He said, well, you'll start at $10,500 a year.
Bam.
Which in 1976 was a chunk of change, He said, you'll play nothing but stadiums and arenas. You'll never touch another piece of equipment. And the women are there. He used other terms, but anyway. I said, sign me up. So they flew me in a private plane up to Mountain Home, Arkansas. I auditioned. Tommy Aldridge was still in the band.
Holy shit.
Now.
No doubt.
Oh, look. That guy.
Yeah.
He knew everybody's parts. Okay. Rehearsing with him was boot camp. he would, one after boom, boom.
Oh,
boom.
so he was like, "Hey, you're missing this. You're missing that. You're missing this." Yeah.
And but he did it in a good way. So it wasn't like he was looking down at you. He was just going,
sort of like the MD, the band leader.
Yeah. So I did my first night with them. Oh, God, this is terrible.
So you passed the audition, clearly.
Yeah, got the gig. And so it was a hodgepodge of players at the time. It was me, a guy named Marius Pinsner, who was a keyboard player for Target. And then the bass player was David Mayo. And then there was Jimmy Henderson, one of the original guys. So you're going to love this. This is a great story. I tell the story all the time. They gave me
They've all been great, Greg.
This is the good one here. So they gave me some money to go buy stage clothes because I had some nice clothes, but I needed some really fancy dancy stuff. So there used to be a shop over in Overton Square called Chelsea Limited, and the owner, Kay King, would go to England twice a year and buy all the cool rock and roll clothes and bring them back to Memphis. So I go in there and I get a couple of nice silk kimonos and these skin tight burgundy crushed velvet bell bottoms.
It's like you're in my closet.
And a pair of python skin boots, right? So this is what I'm wearing the first night and we're playing Cobo Hall in Detroit, opening for Ozzy. Well, it was Black Sabbath at the time. So beginning of the first song, and I'm so nervous you couldn't put a straight pin up my butt with a jackhammer. Okay.
That sounds like Mark Goodman. That's a Mark Goodman line, isn't it?
Look, I got some Goodman stories.
My God.
So playing the first song, and we get to the end, and we do this rave, and I jump up and I come down on one knee. At which time, first of all, these pants were so tight, underwear were not an option.
I know where this is going.
No.
So my pants ripped from my zipper to my kneecap.
Oh, boy.
Okay. And the only thing keeping the audience from getting to know me really well is the fact that the kimono kind of goes down, and then I got my guitar. So, but if I move at all, it's life in the fast lane. Okay. So I walk over to my guitar tech and I go, I got a problem. And they were laughing their butts off. First time out. So they grab.
Push his mic in.
They grab a roll of duct tape. Start taping up right down here. Okay.
Taping your.
Yeah, covering up the hole in my pants so that but you got to realize every time I take a step, I'm getting a bikini wax. Okay?
Oh.
So this goes on for 2 or 3 more songs, and there's a break in the action where Jim does this big long rap about before we would go into walk through the halls of karma. So I go back behind the stage, and they brought me another pair of pants. Well, now I'm back behind the amp line, but there's still people everywhere. Well, I got to take these pants off, butt naked. Okay, so when the tape comes off, ouch. Hair never grew back in that area ever in all my life, okay? So I get the new pants on, but I don't have time to put my shoes on. So the amp line's sitting about 3 or 4 feet off the ground, and I hear the cue for us to start the song. Da, 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 da. So I come running back around the amp line. I jump off that riser. I hit the stage in my stocking feet, and I go,
oh, my God.
Flat on my ass. So I'm figuring at this point in time, this is probably the first and last gig I get to do with these guys.
They're like, this guy's a mess over here. What is
so
going on?
I go back in the dressing room, and I'm actually almost in tears. And I'm sitting off by myself, and Jim Dandy comes up, puts his arm around me. He goes, well, playing live on stage is kind of like water skiing. If you don't fall, you ain't trying. Welcome to the Bust Your Ass on Stage Club. I'm the president. And I was like, so I don't have to go home. He goes, no, man, you did fine. So,
awesome. That's great. So your next pair of pants were a little looser, were they?
Not really. I just I made sure I didn't try to do anything stupid again after that. But
at least try to wear underwear next time.
Yeah, sometimes I think maybe I don't really. Yeah, but that was the story of all stories. And
man. Well, let me. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead, because if you don't, I'll just keep rambling.
Yeah. Well, we love it when people come talk, for sure. Let's read off just quickly the list of people that you played with at the top.
It's pretty impressive.
And you gave us this list. Right at the top is Chuck Berry,
Yeah.
Bo Diddley,
Yeah.
Stephen Stills, Black Oak, we just mentioned, Barcase,
Yeah.
Coasters, Drifters. Is it Shirelles?
Yeah.
Del Shannon, Tommy Rowe, Tokens, Leslie Gore, Tora Tora.
My
Yeah.
boys.
Yeah.
Played on their second album, and I think I did one cut on their first album.
That is awesome.
Mark. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I want to dissect some of these too, but Mark Lindsley, he was Paul Revere and the Raiders. Lou Christie, Georgia Satellites, Rufus Thomas, Carla Thomas, Sam and Dave, the Memphis Horns, and Shangri-La.
Shangri-La. Shangri-La. They had leader of the pack.
Oh,
I mean, damn, dude.
Insane.
Wow.
And there's more I just can't remember.
I mean, we need to do a second episode with
Probably.
you. For real.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So I want to dissect one of those right off the bat because I'm one of the biggest Tora fans on planet Earth.
Okay.
Do you remember the cuts you played on?
I don't.
All these dates you remember, and now you can't remember the damn songs you played on.
All I know is I got a call.
Now, I know that the Memphis Horns were also on their second album.
And we did a gig at Mud Island at the amphitheater that I played organ on.
Okay.
And they set a record for attendance at that thing. I mean, they absolutely packed that place to the rafters.
Yeah.
But I think their producer called me up and said they want some organ on this thing. Would you like to come do it?
Nice.
And it was perfect for, I mean, I was a rock organ player. So.
And that was at Ardent?
Yeah.
You did that?
Yeah.
And you were like, I don't have a B3, guys.
Yes, no, the Ardent.
Don't ask me to play one.
Well, they found a way to find one whenever when we did that gig. I only played 2 live gigs with them. One was there, and one was at the Shrine Building in L.A. opening for Bon Jovi for some kind of big event type thing.
Cool.
Man.
Yeah, I don't know if you've looked back through our episodes, but we've interviewed John Patterson from them.
Yeah.
And Keith Douglas. So that's
That's wild. But all these names, like, how do you? We can't cover all of them, unfortunately. But Chuck Berry, what's this all about?
Okay.
I mean, Chuck Berry.
Yeah.
I already know this is going to be a good story, Jeff.
Chuck is an adventure. Okay. The first time I encountered him was like 85, 86, when T.O. Earnhardt still had the band. See, and we were hooked up with Dick Clark Productions. So whenever there was a big oldie show, we were the backup band for all the acts that came on the show. Well, I was playing guitar on it because T.O. had the keyboards covered. And Chuck shows up, and he's standing off the side of the stage, and he looks at T.O. and goes, hey, T.O., there's only going to be one guitar player on the stage while I'm playing. Who's it going to be?
They point to you?
No, only one. Chuck is going to be the only guitar player.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I looked at T.O. I said, I still get paid? He goes, yeah. I said, okay.
Oh, I see what's going on. Yeah. They're telling you, hey, by the way, you got to stand to the side on this one.
Hey, look,
Gotcha.
Chuck Berry, what am I going to do?
Right,
I mean, that's the master, okay? Mm-hmm. So anyway, time went by a couple of years, and then when T.O. died, I inherited all the equipment. And one of the part of it is Chuck insisted on having 2 dual Showman reverb heads and 2 dual Showman cabinets with 2 15-inch JBLs in each cabinet. Not the best sounding guitar rig in the world, but that's what he liked.
Yeah.
So I had those, and when he was anywhere in the area, I would call I called the management company and said, I got the amps. They go, really? I go, yeah. And he goes, well, okay. I said, and I'll tell you what, because I charge him $1,000 a night for them. And they're very rare. You can't hardly find them. I said, I'll play piano too. He goes, fine. Okay. So the first time I played with him, probably about 1990, somewhere around there, 91. And we played down in Atlanta, Georgia. And this is when I found out how Chuck works. So we did set up everything. Shows at 7:30. At about 7 o'clock, here comes Chuck in a rental car. He goes, where's my band? Come with me. Sits us down in the dressing room. He goes, okay, here's how it works. If you don't know the song, don't play. If at any time during the song you get a handle on it, I'd appreciate some help. Drummer, when I put my foot down, you had best stop or I will publicly assassinate you. Okay? Memphis is in B flat. Let's go.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus.
And that was it. Okay. So out we went. And I mean, you talk about flying by the seat of your pants. And at that time, he would not allow a digital piano. It had to be a grand piano. And he never tuned his guitar.
Really?
And he was famous for changing keys in the middle of the song. Look up a documentary called Hail, Hail, Rock and Roll with Keith Richards.
Oh, I have not seen it, but there's the story where Keith Richards went into it thinking one thing and realized Chuck Berry was not pleasant.
They went chin to chin because of those amplifiers.
Huh.
Okay.
Because Keith Richards was saying those things sound like crap.
Oh, my God. He says this to Chuck Berry.
Yeah, and Chuck Berry said, Chuck always talked in third person. He said, they sound like that because Chuck Berry makes them sound like that. End of discussion. Okay, so the things I realized about Chuck, we did the Memphis Beale Street Festival a couple years after that. And here's what Chuck's deal was. Very simple. You could send a limo to the airport to pick him up. He ain't riding in it. He will rent the closest thing to a Cadillac he can find, and that's what he'll follow the limo. Because as he says, when Chuck Berry's ready to leave, Chuck Berry will leave. He didn't want to be dependent on. You got to realize some of the stuff this guy went through in the 50s and early 60s. Man.
Sure.
I mean, he got screwed over royally.
Yeah, so he had a big chip on his shoulder.
Big time. And so when he walks into the venue, I remember we did him at Sam's Town, and he walks in, and he goes, "Where's my money?" Now, he got $30,000 a night, $15,000 in advance, and then $15,000 when he walks in the back door. Well, the entertainment director at Sam's Town hands him a check, and Chuck goes, "That ain't money." They walk through the audience to the cashier's check station, cash the check. He comes back, stuffs 50 in each of his pockets. He goes, "Let's go play."
Again, he'd been through it.
Yeah.
He'd been screwed so many times.
Yeah. And so a year or so later, we're playing at the Silver Star Casino, and they've got him. It was 1995, I remember. And I learned that you didn't have to be there early for any kind of rehearsal because that wasn't going to happen. So we came in a little bit late, and the production manager is just going ape shit about that. "Why aren't you guys here?" I said, "Is Chuck here?" He goes, "No." I said, "Well, he ain't going to be here." I said, "Look, I ain't trying to tell you what to do." I said, how you getting him here?" "Well, we sent a limousine to Jackson, Mississippi to pick him up." I said, "He ain't going to ride in the limousine." I said, "Here's what's going to happen. He's going to follow the limousine, and when he walks in this back door, he's going to want dead presidents in his hand, not a check." So we're sitting around. All of a sudden, his phone rings, the promoter, and it's the limo driver. "Hey, how you doing?" "Okay, you got Chuck with you, right?" "Oh, really?" "Okay, fine. I'll see when you get here." So the limo driver said, "No, he's following me in a car." He said, "I'm going to go cash the check." So
Yes.
And I've got pictures of that day. He actually let me tune his guitar.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Yeah.
You built some trust with him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We've done enough shows where he remembered me and he was like, "Yeah, take care of this for me."
Have you seen this legendary video of John Lennon and his band with Yoko?
Have you seen the look on his face when she starts singing?
So Jeff.
I've seen it.
Oh, you've seen it. Yeah.
I've seen it.
Anyone that hasn't. So Chuck Berry is one of Lennon's heroes,
Yeah.
right? So I don't know what show was that.
Mike Douglas show.
Okay, so it's it's Chuck Berry and the backing band is John Lennon
And
was
some
it,
guys.
And was it the Yoko Ono
It
band?
might have been
or-
the Plastic Oko band. for the
Yeah,
most
that's
part.
it.
Yeah.
So of course, Yoko's up there.
Beating on a drum.
No business being up there.
No.
But because of John. Anyways.
Yeah.
So they kick into a song and she starts cackling like a demon, being avant-garde and artistic and everything.
That thing that she does when
Yes.
she sings, you know.
Over the verse, they're singing, and Chuck's eyeballs fall out of his head. And I can only imagine what that conversation was like after.
Okay, there's no yeah, I mean, Chuck, that.
I first saw that somewhere on the internet, and my first thought was, "That's fake.
No.
That's not even real."
That's Yoko.
You know? Yeah.
And yeah, and prior, when I'm seeing this video for the first time, the stories about Chuck being difficult and this, that, and the other thing, and I'm like, he's probably already not enjoying the band,
Right.
Because there's other guitar players up there,
Right, exactly.
Who knows what he walked into, blah 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 blah, and then he's just doing it because it's on TV.
And the only
it's with
saving
John
grace
Lennon.
is that John Lennon looks at him like an idol.
Yeah.
And worships him. That's the one thing that's
Right.
keeping him cool on the whole thing.
But then Yoko Ono does what she
Man.
does, and it is priceless. Anyway, so
Speaking of Beatles, I did do an overdub for Ringo
okay, cool.
in '85. He did an album here.
Which album was it?
Never got released.
Oh.
This is okay, you guys probably weren't around for this, but at one point, there used to be a producer here in town called Chips Moman. And he had a studio over on Chelsea called American Studios. That's where Elvis did his comeback, Suspicious Minds and all that stuff. He produced all that stuff. And the city of Memphis decided to build him a studio and have him come back to Memphis and save the recording business for Memphis. Big chance. I mean, the Firehouse, if you're on 2nd Street, down there by Beale Street, there's this big building. It used to be a fire station. And now I don't know what it is now, but then they made a recording studio of it, and they called it 3 Alarm Studios. Now, this is when Ringo was not in his best shape.
Yeah.
And his wife, Barbara, were there. And once again, I was so freaking nervous. I mean, I got called, you're going to do an overdub for Ringo.
And this takes you back to the Ed Sullivan Show, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The Big Bang for you.
Yeah, and I walk into the room, and he's sitting there with Barbara, and once again, my butthole's so tight you can't get the straight pin up with the jackhammer. I mean, I'm just like... So I played on this song. Don't even remember the name of it. All I know is he smiled and put his thumb up, so I'm thinking, okay, it must be okay. But later on, he sued Chips to make sure that album never saw the light of day.
He didn't want it to go out?
No, it was that bad.
He just didn't like it. And he was in a bad place. Yeah, legendarily, he had his...
As we all have.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, that's another whole chapter of my life that... the 80s.
I had the 2000s. I had my version in a way, not like...
Here, try this. But... It's not addicting. Okay.
There you go. There you go. All right, everybody. So if it seemed like there's a jarring edit, it's because we had a moment, we had a break in between stories, and we realized that we needed to have a little production meeting with Greg because we have officially invited him back for another interview because there's so many damn stories to tell, and we want to hear all of them. We want to hear more of them. So this is going to be a two-parter.
For sure.
So with that said, let's jump ahead and let's talk current.
Yeah.
We want to hit Landslide here. And then we'll use the next interview for more B3 stories.
Okay.
No. All right. So Landslide, which ties in with School of Rock.
Well, here's what happened. The COVID hit and the All-Stars had seen their best day. It was over with. So one night I'm out at Neil's and I'm talking to Richard Butler, my good friend, right? And I said, Rich, I got to find something to do. He goes, well, tribute bands are kicking butt right now. And Christine had just passed away about a week before that. I said, what about a Fleetwood Mac tribute band? He said, man, you put one of those together that's good, you're going to be successful. I said, okay. The next day, I'm driving from the University of Memphis neighborhood.
Memphis State.
Yeah, Memphis State. And on my way out, I got my phone. I call Sarah Spain. I go, Sarah, you want to be in a Fleetwood Mac tribute band? She goes, Stevie Nicks is my idol. I'm in. Okay, there's one.
Done.
Now, you know how hard it is to put bands together. You guys have been doing it for a long time. So then I make it out to the school in Germantown. Savoya is behind the desk. I said, and she's on the phone with somebody, and I'm just kind of standing there. She goes, do you need something? I said, I need to ask you a question. She goes, hang on a second. I said, you want to be in a Fleetwood Mac tribute band? She goes, I'll call you right back. Yes, I do. So, okay, so now I got both my girl singers. Walking down the hall, and there's classroom after classroom, teaching rooms. First room, Dylan Gattuso, my Italian stallion boy that was the original bass player in the band. He steps out of the door. I said, you want to be in a Fleetwood Mac tribute band? Yes. Done. Went to the next door. That's where Robert Allen Parker is, the guitar player. I said, you want to be in a Fleetwood Mac tribute band? Absolutely. Walked down the hall. Jeff Birch is in the drum room. Same question, same response. The band is now together.
And that guy is a character behind that drum kit.
Oh, man.
He's fun to watch.
One of the most orchestrated drummers I've ever worked with. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
I mean, if you've ever seen us more than one time, we never end a song the same way. We follow Jeff. Okay?
And he adds in like double kick, like it's Metallica in there,
yeah.
but it's done well.
Right.
So
he is wild to watch.
At that point, then I called Richard. I said, we're rehearsing starting tomorrow. So he gave us a date in January at Neil's. And first night we played there, they had to turn people away. The fire marshal came because there was too many people. And it's been that way since day one.
Yeah.
I mean, any place we play, Lafayette's and Neil's, it's a full house.
It's fantastic.
We've done Italian Fest 2 years in a row. That never happens. You know?
And this thing happens where you go into it thinking of the top singles that you hear over and over and over.
Yeah.
But then you realize, no, this catalog is so deep. They had so many songs.
Yeah.
And one after another, you're like, oh my God, that's right. Oh, I fucking love that song.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And it's just a night full of greatness.
And we take them like Rhiannon and things like that. Me and Rob get into it. It's almost like Leonard Skinner meets Fleetwood Mac, you know.
Yeah.
And Rob, I got to tell you, you know, next to Jack Holder, that's the first time since Jack that I felt that comfortable playing with another guitar player. I mean, him and I just went.
He's awesome.
Oh, he's
I've
amazing.
had the pleasure of playing twice with him now. And fun, easygoing, nice guy. Awesome.
And I mean, very generous. We swap licks back and forth, do harmonies. And he told me the day after I asked him, he goes, I really don't know a lot about this Fleetwood Mac stuff, so you know you're going to have to help me out. And well, he just went and sat down and learned every song perfectly. So.
Well, he's part of the Elevation Memphis Tina Turner tribute thing,
and the Leonard Skinner
and Allman Brothers.
Allman Brothers.
So I pick on him. I'm like, dude, you're the tribute guy over here.
I told him, I said, I've never been in a band where I'm competing with one of my members for gigs.
I know. Great player, you know. And then now you got Davey Smith on bass.
Yeah.
Who was awesome.
Yeah, because Dylan stayed with us for about 3 months, and I just gave Dave a call, and he went, that sounds like fun. Yeah, I'm in. And of course, Dave shows up first rehearsal. He's got everything charted out, background vocals, everything. He's just, that's how he does.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I mean,
everyone, check them out. They play often. Neil's, Lafayette's.
It's top shelf players all the way across the board. I mean, it's just, and it just works.
And I loved how Sarah Span will then go up on the keys.
Oh, yeah.
You're on the keys, you're on guitar, you go back and forth, and then Sarah will go back on the keys, and you guys switch it up.
Then she also does guitar
Acoustic.
on Go Your Own Way, and she plays bass on Tusk.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, it's really neat to see the level of musicianship up there.
Yeah.
You know,
it's I have I sit back there. The funny thing is, about 6 months before this thing even happened, I was talking to a booking agent in town, and he goes, Redding, you're getting old. I said, yeah, I know. He goes, if you want to stay relevant, hire some younger players and put a hat on and go sit in the back. And that's kind of what I do a lot. They'll go, aren't you the guy with the hat? I said, yeah, that's me.
Wow, Greg. Like, you know, you do some prep me and Jeff try to prep for our interviews, and we print stuff out and everything, but we didn't need it today.
Yeah, we didn't need any of that.
We didn't need it.
Just shut up and let him talk.
That was awesome.
That's great.
And we're going to do it again.
We're going to do it again.
We're going to do
We've
this
already
again.
booked it.
It's booked. It's in the calendar. So, but man, oh man. Did you enjoy yourself, Greg?
I had a blast.
Good. Well, we're going to do it again.
I can't wait.
Yeah, and try not to rip your pants up this next time.
And if you do, bring duct tape.
That's a legendary story. I have people go, tell the one about when you were first in Black Oak. I'm like, oh God.
So apologize if we skipped over something, or we're not trying to rush you.
No, I understand.
You know,
I mean, look, we're talking almost 60 years of experience, and I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah, so we're happy to have you in here to tell us all these things.
I'm loving it, man. It gives me a chance to document it, so you know when I'm gone, they can go. My kids can go, this is my dad. Don't hold it against me.
Well, as we record this, our next interview is in about 6 weeks, so we can't wait to have you back.
Okay.
This is going to be great. But and thank you for watching. I hope you were excited about him coming back. And to the band sponsors, as always, right, Jeff?
And we know, without a doubt, you just learned something that you didn't know about him. Yeah. There's no way you knew all that. So, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Band sponsors, we can't do it without you. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at The Rhythm Section Pod, and the website is therhythmsectionpod.com.
And don't forget to join us for our exclusive Sunday replay series, where we bring back all of your favorite interviews. Greg's interview will be sometime in spring 2026 by the time these roll back around.
I may or may not still be here.
Oh, man. Your stories will live forever now, sir.
There we go. I'm documented. That's great.
No doubt.
And our tip bucket, as always, if you find it in your hearts to support the cause here. We have Venmo and CashApp. You can search the Rhythm Section Pod on both. Also, all links will be in the description. So
don't duck the bucket.
Fill the bucket.
That's a Richard Cushing saying.
Well, thanks, Greg.
Thank you for coming in, man, and thanks for booking to come back again.
Absolutely.
That's right. All right, guys. Take care.
See ya.